This video is going to show you how you can use Google Slides to create templates for students who, for a variety of reasons. This particular template on the screen is one that I'm working for, and we probably have some kinks that we need to work out as a team, but we're just starting to try this. It's a student with phase 3 cortical visual impairment, and he also has cerebral palsy. He is accessing the curriculum in the general ed classroom in 5th grade and can verbalize a lot of things and tell us the steps that he needs to go through to complete tasks, but he's not able to handwrite, and typing answers to these sorts of things would be a challenge, and editing would be hard for him. So we wanted to come up with a creative solution. We've considered using Velcro or magnetic shapes and an all-in-one board and doing it that way physically, but this student is really motivated to use technology, so we wanted to come up with a way that would work for him. So I'm going to show you how I made the templates and worked through the process, and how I made the number stack and all that good stuff. On the screen right now is a blank Google slide. It is white. My student has a preference for a white background, but you can change the background color if you want. And what I did is I used the drawing features to draw arrows. So I'm just going to do a division problem. So I took a line and I just drew a small line. I'm changing the color to blue. My student has a preference for blue things, and I'm changing so I changed the color of the line, and now I'm changing the thickness of the line. I like 16 or 12, so either one of those are pretty good. I'm just going to go back to 12 since the numbers, I need to fit more numbers on a page and I don't want my line to be too thick. So once I have the line thickness and color I like, rather than just going through that process with a new line over and over, I highlight and copy it and then paste it. And then let's do this. I'm going to rotate it. So I right click and hit rotate clockwise or counterclockwise, and then just drag the line out as long as I think it might go. I move it over so it looks like a division house for my student. Very simple division house. Once I've got that step down, I'm going to add in some squares for number placeholders. My student has some contrast sensitivity, so I'm going to use a pretty dark gray, and they are working on up to 4 digits for the dividend, and we'll do one place, 1 digit for the divisor. And then for the solution, we will have up to 4 digits in the top part. And then I'm going to add another little square over here in case there's a remainder. And I'm not going to write the R because I need my student to be able to do that on his own. We're hoping that this system will work for state standardized testing if we're able to get a non-standard accommodation. So that's the background for my problem. So now that I have this set up, I want to make it so that he's not able to manipulate the boxes. The easiest way to do this, I'm on a Windows computer right now. I'm going to use the Windows key, Shift and S, and it's going to open the snippet feature. My screen went gray, you'll see. And I'm just going to drag from the corner to the corner of my presentation, and it's going to open up a snippet. So I have 2 screens here. I'm just going to bring it over here. There's the snippet. I could add some things on here if I wanted, change it around, but I don't need to do that because I've got it the way that I want it. I'm going to save it onto my desktop, and I'm going to call this remainder because I have another division one set up with no remainders. So I've got that here. Now I'm going to create a new slide with Control M. Whoops. There's my new slide, and I'm going to click on background at this point. From here, I can choose an image and upload from here. Click browse, and I'm going to my desktop, and I'm going to choose my remainder, that snippet that I just got from a second ago, and add that to the theme. So now my student can't change these boxes. These boxes are set in place. From here, I want to have draggable. I'm going to show you on my other, this is the subtraction one. I've got these numbers that he can drag into the boxes, and with a touch screen, he can just slide them over. So I'm going to add those in now. There are a lot of different ways you can do this, but I like adding in the word art function. So you can do that a couple different ways. You can go from insert down to word art. and I just started with number 1. And then I clicked on the color, the infill color, and my student likes red for numbers, and I'm going to make it smaller so it fits in a box. And the default is Arial, and I think this one looks a lot like a 7. So I'm going to change it to Comic Sans and unbold it so that my 1 looks more like a typical 1. And then I was just setting my drag and drop numbers up on the right side of the screen for my student because he's right-handed. And I'm going to copy that one and I'm going to paste a bunch of them because I don't know how many he'll need at one time. From here, I drag them, right click, align horizontally to center, and align vertically to middle. And now I've got this big old stack of ones. So put the one there. I paste another one and we'll add this one and make it into a 2 by double clicking and changing the number. Same process, copy, paste a whole bunch of them, highlight them all, align vertically to middle, align horizontally to center, move them all up there. Okay, so I just did that over and over and over again. You'll see here on my subtraction one, I have a slash so that if my student needs to regroup, he can drag his slash over on top of the 3 and knows that the 3 has been canceled out, and he can put the 2 up atop and change this number into a 12. So it'll all still work out for him. And the boxes are lined up. So on the division one, I'll go up to this other division one. I made an arrow down for him so that if he's subtracting, dividing, bringing down all those things, he can put, if he's got a decimal in his problem, he can put the decimal in there. He has the subtraction bar here and the equals bar for the subtracting part. So he can move all these things over on the template, and his paraprofessional, when she's adapting his assignments, can just come to the math template file, copy the slide, and then put that into the slideshow presentation that he's going to be doing for his math problems. And so he will use it on his Chromebook and be able to set up his problems unless they're already set up for his class, and then drag the numbers over that he needs and complete his assignments without having to dictate or handwrite or any of those things. So he will be able to be a lot more independent in his activities. So that shows you how to create a background and then sort and stack a bunch of different numbers or letters. You can do this for a bunch of different things for your students. Oops. So they can complete tasks with a template on the background more independently.